reality star accused of faking an accident to get plastic surgery.
Now I have a huge deviated septum.
Now, in a doctor's exclusive, we have the whole truth about what really happened and more.
I want to move on because imagine being accused of staging an accident just so you can get a plastic surgery procedure done. Our next guest, Hazel E from VH1's Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, found herself in that situation last year, and she's been dealing with the aftermath in more ways than one ever since.
I was in Dubai for Memorial Day weekend, and I was riding ATVs in the desert. Sand was whipping in my face, and I thought I was going to make a left turn, and it was a cliff. And the bike fell off. I nosedived in the bike. I hit my nose. I blacked out. Once I woke up, I said, okay, it's not my teeth. But I felt blood gushing from my face. So at that moment, I took off my head wrap and wrapped my nose up to give pressure. And I just started kicking and screaming for anybody to come and rescue. Hospital, we did an MRI. He tells me that you have a really bad concussion and that your nose is not only broken from the outside, you have a horrible gash that goes through the bone on the inside. And that if I did not get back to America within 24 hours, I was going to completely lose my nose. So I immediately got on a plane and rushed back to Beverly Hills. Once I landed back in LA, immediately I was right into surgery. Now, once I got out of surgery, I was like, okay, is my nose gonna look the same, better? Did you give me a slight nose job in there? And he's like, basically, we saved it and did the best we could.
This is how we make our money, you know what I'm saying?
But you're gonna be fine.
You're gonna be fine.
I almost died out there, and I know I'm still in shock, but I can't seem to stop thinking about how this is gonna affect my career. In Hollywood, it's all about how you look, and nobody's more aware of that than me. Now I have uneven nostrils, a huge deviated septum, still an outer appearance of scar, and self-consciously when I go to home and I go to bed at night, it gets to me, and so now I wanna fix it.
That was Hazel E, former reality star of VH1's Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Uncomfortable with her brand new nose post-accident, we tagged along with Hazel E as a second different plastic surgeon. Dr. Ashkan, Ghavami performed a rhinoplasty revision.
Hi, Hazel. How you doing?
Doctor.
Are you ready? This is really like a revision rhinoplasty and reconstructive.
Right.
But it's also aesthetic because we want to make this nose amazing.
I feel like it's just hanging down. Like everyone says that I have like a toucan Sam nose.
Oh, if this is a cliff, it's like all the tip cartilage is falling off of that cliff. So we got to lift this back up, make it gorgeous and narrow. Yeah. Your septum's curved like this. You ready to do this?
Born ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark the incision. So here's her cartilage of her tip. You can see how flimsy this part is, how flat and bulky this is. We're gonna completely reshape it. I do need this cartilage to rebuild her nose. I'm gonna shave down some of her bony hump. There's scar tissue all over the place, which makes this a little more challenging. So we're looking at her septum here, and it has a complete C shape to it. It's buckling to the left. That's why she couldn't breathe. So she's gonna breathe like a champ now because I'm taking this crooked part of her septum out, add cartilage to it, so she has a more aesthetic nostril relationship to her tip. We're gonna weaken her bone with some chisel cuts. The bones are very wide. I need to narrow them. Okay, we're starting to get there. So I'm tucking the tail ends of her cartilage into these soft tissue skin pockets, and that's gonna provide a lot of strength to her nostril rims and a lot of projection. Okay, we've supported her cartilage, added cartilage to it, made it stronger. I'm putting this one in the tip. We're gonna give her some projection and shape. So everything has gone very well. I'm gonna put the cast or the splint on, and she's gonna heal. She's gonna do fantastic.
It's been several weeks since that surgery. In a doctor's exclusive, Hazel E is here to show off her brand new nose for the very first time. Your nose looks great. What do you think about it?
It's amazing. It's only been 3 weeks, so, you know, it's still swollen, but the shape of it, like the fact that Dr. Ghavami lifted this tip up to give her that toucan Sam beak, I'm ecstatic.
No, I mean, Dr. Ghavami, it's always a challenge when you have somebody who went through trauma, injured their nose, and you're reversing that, but at the same time, you're making other cosmetic changes.
Exactly. It was really a double whammy. And I love surgeries like this because it's kind of like an adventure. It's like I'm going through the Amazon with a machete trying to see what there is, what exists, what's going on. So I had to basically take everything apart, take it back to its native cartilage that God provided for her. And now that I saw it was injured in certain places, relocate, strengthen it, take cartilage from her ear. Really what she needed was a lot of projection narrowing and symmetry. Plus, she couldn't breathe at all from her left side. And by projection, I mean her tip, like she says, the toucan thing. But what happens is the cartilage complex, the whole tip cartilage, was essentially falling off of her nose. So it had no support, and you could just push into it.
And for all the haters that said you did this just because, for vanity, because you needed a nose job, I mean, clearly.
Clearly, like, who does that? I live...
Just stop it, you haters. She needed this nose job.
Hazely, I want to ask you, this wasn't the only medical health issue you had recently. And you went through something that in a lot of ways was just as traumatic. Can you tell us about that, if you would?
Yeah, that was just, I mean, I had a miscarriage. It was pretty unfortunate because I actually really wanted this baby at the time. And I had fibroids, and I didn't even know like about fibroids or anything till I got pregnant. So, you know, and then people said I wasn't, so I was like all emotional and on my social media, like, here's my medical reports. And then my manager's like, take that down. So, I mean, you know, it was unfortunate, and you know, I didn't understand it till I went through it. And then when I shared it, and the fact that people didn't believe me, it was just another blow. Like, what can I do?
You've been through a lot this year.
Oh, man.
But you know what? It seems like you're coming out the other side of it. And I know your sister, Brittany, is here. Now, Brittany, have you seen her nose until now?
No, I was just telling Dr. Ghavami, she sends me Snapchats with filters on her face. And I'm like, I'm your sister. Let me see it. And she's like, and it looks stunning. My sister doesn't look different. She looks happy. That's all that I care about.
Yeah.
I don't want to cry.
I know.
But I'm her baby sister. And now to see her sitting here, she's happy. She's loving life. She loves her nose. She's been waiting to show it off.
Yeah.
And she looks great.
And clearly, you got some quality family behind you all the way. We wish you just a ton of success going forward. We're so glad you got the result you deserve, and many blessings. Dr. Ghavami, great job. Brittany, thank you for being with us. We'll be right back.